Hello guys, I truly may never start a video or a vlog in a setting as beautiful as this, and I would never usually record with the sun directly behind me, but I need you to see the view because I don't know if you can make it out, but in the field here, these tiny little things that you can see kind of just around me, they're kangaroos. And today I'm here in a rural regional town in New South Wales on probably the most exciting trip of my entire life, and I actually mean that, I don't say that lightly. I am basically spending a week with the brand Destination New South Wales, which is basically like the tourism board for the state of New South Wales. You guys know that I have travelled around Australia a lot, but the reason I was so excited about this particular invite and this opportunity, firstly, because it's just insane in itself. Secondly, because I feel like I've been yapping about how much I love this country non-stop for the last 6 years, and now I feel as though it's crazy to get to do this and to actually work with them just generally. And thirdly, because I'm actually visiting some places that I've never been before, and that is so exciting to me because Australia is a bloody big country and it's very difficult to travel all of it. It's like, it's huge, guys. Like I can't give you a scale for how big this country is, and I feel like I've seen a lot of it, but I feel also like I haven't even scratched the surface. So I'm introducing this video from a town on the SAPPHIRE coast, which is basically this stretch of coastline in South New South Wales that I've never visited before. However, I am going to flash back in a second because I actually started this trip in Sydney. Like any trip, you have to fly into the international airport, and the other girls that are on this trip have all come from the UK, which is just crazy. I obviously very luckily was already in the country. Yeah, we started the trip in Sydney, and the itinerary was basically split like half and half of the time exploring Sydney, the iconic landmarks, the must-dos, the beaches, the bridge, the opera house, and then the other half of the trip exploring the more regional destinations across the state. And to me, this is what makes Australia Australia. I think that there are so many beautiful towns, so many kind of like hidden gems that you probably wouldn't necessarily see if you were just flying in and visiting its main cities normally. Anyway, the reason that I felt like now was a good time to start the vlog was because I genuinely haven't had chance. I filmed on and off bits and bobs. You guys will see that this vlog's quite a lot of either me chatting in the morning, voiced over clips, montage clips, and I thought I would put it all together, but I think I will have a lot more of this video from the regional part of the trip because I have vlogged in Sydney several times, and the content that I was creating from Sydney was more for like Instagram and TikTok anyway. So if you do want to see me exploring Sydney, there are definitely other videos on my channel of me doing that. This part of the vlog was so exciting to me because I love a new location, guys. I can't stress to you how many kangaroos are behind me. I feel like I'm having the most Australian experience. I feel very, very lucky to be here. I'm here with 3 other girls that are creators, Chloe, Carly and Emma, and then 2 really lovely girls that work for the Tourism Board of New South Wales, both here in Australia and in the UK. So that's kind of who you're going to see in this vlog, and otherwise we should get straight into it. I'm going to flash you back to Sydney. That is where the trip started. I just, in classic Molly fashion, did not film an introduction, so I'm going to take you right back to Wednesday afternoon when I landed into Sydney. What I didn't actually specify in this vlog, again because I started and it was a whole whirlwind, was as I got out of my Uber from the airport, I trapped my finger in the car door so badly that I thought I had actually broken my finger. And I had no time to deal with that because I was like in a bit of a rush. I just had to get on with like getting ready to go to this dinner, and I really didn't know what to do. I literally could not feel my hand at all, and my nail basically is like definitely going to come off. My whole nail, my whole end of my finger went black. Luckily I have not broken it. I can move it. It's been a few days, but that was kind of why I didn't film an intro. I really had this plan of like, I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna film some nice content, and instead I was so busy trying to get ice from the hotel that I didn't film a vlog intro. And then I did briefly mention that I was injured, but I never went into it. So that's basically what happened and how my trip started. So just know that's a little reality and a behind the scenes. All of these kind of bougie looking influencer trips, there's always a behind the scenes, and mine was, am I gonna have to go to hospital? Thankfully the answer was no. So yeah, welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the craziest opportunity probably of my career so far. I do genuinely feel so passionately about this country anyway that it feels an honour to get to work with a brand that kind of also feel that way. Anyway, without further ado, we'll flash back to Sydney. What a morning view to wake up to! Guys, I am so excited. Firstly, just to be here, but secondly, because the plan this morning is to head over to Bondi to go surfing. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't think that I am gonna be able to really surf for 2 reasons. One, my ongoing injury to my wrist. If you've been a long time follower, you might remember the wrist's not good, guys. It's very weak. I can't put any weight on it, so it means I can't like push my body weight up onto a surfboard. Secondly, new injury. Yesterday I trapped my finger in the car door, and I'm just trying to pretend that my finger isn't severely, it's my thumb, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. It's so swollen. I'm acting so cool, calm and collected about it. It's killing me. It's killing me, guys. So this whole hand's really just out of action. I'm gonna give it a go though, and I'm not complaining. I'm so excited. We're about to set off right now, and we've got a couple of hours to explore Bondi first. And Bondi is one of, obviously, the most famous suburbs of Sydney. One of the most famous suburbs in the world, probably. But also one of my personal favourites. Like, I really like it, think it might deserve the hype that it gets. Let's go to Bondi. We started our morning off by kind of cafe hopping around Bondi, which is very easy to do. There are so many gorgeous spots to sit. I'm actually gonna list every location that we eat and drink on the screen so you guys can screenshot if you're interested in going to any of them. This one was Glory Days and I do really recommend it for brunch. And then we headed to our surf lesson, which I did not partake in. I actually asked and I did go into the surf shop, and the surf instructor took one look at my thumb and was like, absolutely not. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. And honestly, when I watched the girls get wiped out by this wave, I thought, yeah, I've made the right decision. We were cracking up at this video for so long. Honestly, they were such troopers. They'd never surfed before, and that wave wiped them out before they even started, but they all got back up and on the board, and it was genuinely so much fun to watch it from the beach. I kind of felt like I'd hacked the system a bit here. But yeah, overall, just really lovely vibes, the perfect morning, and the perfect kind of intro to the city. Yeah, I was just so happy sitting here on the beach, watching the waves, enjoying the sunshine, and going and having yet more good food afterwards. Okay, I am back in the room. I just had the most lovely morning in Bondi, but anyway, quick outfit change, and of course I'm running late, I need to head out, but I am about to go and climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge, guys. Like, I am genuinely so excited and a bit apprehensive. I'm a little bit scared of heights. This is my outfit for dinner afterwards, because you actually get like a full-on windproof suit to climb the bridge. Obviously it's windy up there, so that's why I'm dressed like this, but Sydney Harbour Bridge climb, guys. I'm like really excited. This has been on my bucket list for ages, and I know that this is one where Tom's gonna be like, I'm so jealous that you did that without me, because I know he wants to do this, so maybe we'll be back and doing it again at some point. But anyway, let's go. I was very optimistic in thinking I'd be able to film some of the bridge climb, but you have to leave literally all of your belongings, including your clothes, behind, and then you put on this fun little spacesuit and off you go. So these are the only pictures that I've got, but that is the proof that I did climb it, and it was actually really good. It was a little bit scary, I'm not gonna lie, as somebody scared of height. Didn't love the stairs, but the rest of it, but it was worth it for the views. And afterwards we headed for the most incredible dinner at a place called Jimmy's Kitchen, and it's a bold claim, but I'm gonna say this is the best Greek food I've had outside of Greece ever. Are you both doing it at the same time?
I'm just gonna have the water like straight away.
A chaser. You ready? Yeah. You've got this.
There's absolutely no way. No way. Yeah? Wait, are you chewing it?
I think you just have to swallow it.
We're not meant to.
I think just swallow it.
And this is tarmusalata.
Good morning. I feel like my face is really puffy this morning. I think I'm just tired. But we are up bright and early. My alarm was actually set for 6:15 this morning. It is now 7:15 because we are doing floating Pilates. And honestly, I am as in the dark as you are as to what that actually is. I'd never heard of it before. I've only just been introduced into regular Pilates, guys. I did one reformer Pilates class, and now look at me, thinking I can bloody do it on water, apparently. So yeah, when I googled it, I put it into Instagram, and it's basically like these floating mats on the ocean that you do Pilates on. I can't balance on the ground, let alone on a floating mat. So yesterday we were talking about it, and some of the girls were like, so are we wearing gym sets then? Because it's like a Pilates workout. And I was thinking, I'm not wearing a gym set, I'm ended up in the ocean. There's no way that I am gonna stay dry. So I've popped a swimsuit on just underneath this hoodie because it's a little chilly in the mornings in Sydney at the moment. Like, obviously it's still kind of springtime. And you might notice I sound a bit nasally. I'm definitely getting a cold. I'm hoping that that can just like stay away. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And the itinerary today is genuinely insane, guys. Like, we were at dinner last night, which also was insane. If you're ever in Sydney, Jimmy's Kitchen for the best Greek food of your entire life. And I am not joking. The owner was this like really, really lovely Greek man. And it was just the most attentive restaurant I've ever been in. Like, he was so just like making sure we had the best experience. So if you're ever in Sydney and you want good Greek food and you want harbour views, Jimmy's Kitchen. Anyway, at dinner we were all talking about how today might be the most silly itinerary of my life. Like,
We're starting with floating Pilates, which I'm not a Pilates kind of gal. It's a bougie sport, let's be real. Followed by, we're taking a Seaplane to lunch where we're having a 5-course tasting menu. And then this evening we're having dinner on a yacht. And I just feel like, am I living in an episode of like the Kardashians or something? This is just not my life. I am a backpacker at my core. I feel like you've thrown me into the most out of body experience, but it's actually lovely because all of the girls on this trip feel like that. I don't think anybody's thinking, yeah, this is a really normal day. Like almost all of the girls are actually from Yorkshire or the north of England, and I feel like we've all come here and we're just like, how have I, this random girl from a tiny town in East Yorkshire, ended up with, like, tonight I'm having dinner on a super yacht. I don't want you to think that I am thinking this is normal. I'm not thinking this is normal. And I also can't breathe. My nose is getting overwhelmed. I'm getting overwhelmed. I need to go downstairs and meet the other girl. I just feel very much like I woke up today and I thought, how silly. And I am aware of that. Like, I don't want you to be watching this thinking, God, what has she done to deserve this? Because I'm right behind you. I agree. I don't know. Other than yap about how much I do bloody love this country for the last 6 years. So I guess if you persevere hard enough, guys, you never know. I'm apprehensive to do Pilates in the ocean. I fear that, one, I could injure myself. I'm already injured. My thumb is ridiculous and it's really hurting and there's not much I can do about it. And second, I also think I could embarrass myself because all the other girls on this trip are very sporty, very fit, very like athleisure kind of girls. I'm not a girl like that. Like, I've got no fitness, I've got no balance. I usually in my life, I own that, I don't really care. On this trip I'm like, perhaps it would have helped if I was a bit fitter, if I was able to like actually do Pilates on the ground. That seems like step one before you take it to the ocean. Anyway, yeah, living my Taylor Swift life today. I'm gonna be on the land, the sea, the sky. Keep it 100. Anyway, I need to go.
I just need to document this because I have just got ready, washed my hair, dried my hair, styled my hair, so I've curled it as well and clipped it up, and done a full face of makeup in 40 minutes. Shower, hair wash, hair dry, hairstyle and makeup. Who is this girl? I'm very impressed with myself, to be honest. I don't think the curls are going to hold in my hair because it's obviously so freshly washed, and it was like barely even dry when I did it. But yeah, this is my Seaplane outfit. I've got this little dress on from Cotton On. I love this, guys. They also did it in green. I nearly bought both. I just got the blue. Now I'm sort of giving Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, but it's okay. I think that's the vibes. And this is the first time I've ever gone in a seaplane. I don't really know what to expect. Right at the last minute, they did say, do you want to bring travel sickness tablets? Because apparently it's really quite bumpy. Like the plane like flips around a bit. I'm not scared of flying, but I have been in a helicopter and I didn't really love that. I actually was like, I'd rather just get down now. Like the helicopter went up and I was like, okay, can we land again? So I feel like it might be a similar experience, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I want to show you the back of my hair and the back of the dress. That's really pretty as well. Can you see that? Got a little clip in from when I was a bridesmaid actually, but I think it kind of worked. Anyway, I need to go because the lifts take a little while. Did I say that we're staying at the Intercontinental? I don't think I did, but I really, really like this hotel. Anyway, let's go and then we're going for a lunch. I'm so excited. Even watching this footage back, I still can't believe that this happened. Genuinely, such a cool experience, such a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And the restaurant that we went to is called Cottage Point Inn, and it's pretty much mainly accessible by Seaplane, which kind of gives you a vibe for like the sort of caliber of restaurant we're talking about. And we did the tasting menu, and it was incredible. I am a risotto girl, and this was one of the best risottos I've ever eaten in my life. Watching it back, and I'm genuinely jealous of past me. I want to eat that again. Anyway, before we knew it, we were heading back on the Seaplane to the city, and I actually got to ride shotgun in the front with the pilot, and oh my goodness me, the views were just insane. This was genuinely a highlight of the whole week, sitting at the front of this plane like this. It's not every day you get to do that. How are we ending the day, I hear you ask? Dinner on a super yacht. That's genuinely the silliest sentence that I have ever said in my life. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, we've had quite a tight turnaround, so I haven't really had a chance to like fully get re-ready. I've kind of just added a few curls through my hair, but it's giving limp. And then I've got changed into this dress, which is this is actually from Pepper Mayo, and it is this like pale yellow with this flowery little situation going on. I actually love this dress. I think it would be really good for like weddings, like in the summertime. So I do think this will come in. This is the only dress like this that I brought with me to Oz. And I'm so glad that I did. I just had in the back of my mind, I was like, you just never know when you need a like bougie dress. And it's quite difficult to find one that you like at short notice, because I've been there and done that in the past and I never end up feeling confident. And I brought this dress and I thought, I know that I like it. It's a nice colour. So we're gonna go. That's Australian. Let's go to Murrumbula, which is regional New South Wales and about an hour south of here on a plane. So we are heading to the airport. So we flew from Sydney to Murrumbula with Rex, which is a regional airline. And as you can see, it's a tiny little plane. And as soon as we arrived, we actually did an oyster tour, which we learned a lot about the oyster industry. I think I've never thought about before, but this is kind of one of the main job sources in this area. It's very, very famous for its oyster farms. Okay, wow, my hair is super flat. I spent the afternoon at a sauna. And I think the hair's not really recoverable after a sauna, guys, I do have to say. Anyway, irrelevant. We are currently in Murrumbula, which is, I think how you pronounce it, basically is a regional town in New South Wales, an hour's flight south of Sydney. So it's on the SAPPHIRE coast. I'll pop a little map on the screen, and I have never ever been here. I am so excited to be exploring like a kind of more rural town here in Australia. This is what I love about this country. For me, this is what makes it feel so unique. Like, it's just not comparable to anywhere else. It's just Australian, and this is a really great example of that. And this afternoon, like I mentioned, we did just go to a spa. Basically, all of the places that Destination New South Wales are taking us on this trip are like local businesses, independent spots, places that are either really good for tourists and like genuinely deserve the hype they get, or places that you maybe wouldn't have heard of that deserve more recognition. And that's definitely the case with not only this town, but the businesses that we're visiting whilst we're here. So I'm really excited to have a little explore. I've just got ready as quickly as possible because I was honestly shattered. So I had a little nap because we flew quite early this morning. And now I think we're heading for dinner at a place called Bianska. You know what? I'm just gonna wait until we're there to show you. But yeah, it's been so lovely getting ready because look at my view, guys. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, you've got the ocean, you've got the bay. When I first checked in, I did actually film a room tour, so I thought I'd just insert that here. But you can kind of see it's going for like really chic motel vibes, and the interior is somewhat kind of Bali-esque in the way that it's decorated. Like I say, this place was run by a really lovely couple who made us feel so at home, and I would definitely come back here and stay again if I was ever in Murrumbula. And there's also loads of cockatoos flying over because obviously it's dusk, so there's so many animals. I'm hoping we might see a kangaroo this evening. Haven't seen one yet, but I feel like this is really the part of the trip that I'm excited about, so let's go. Good morning, good morning. Look at this, breakfast with a view. Oh my gosh. Good morning from Murrumbula, where I had such a lovely sleep in this hotel room, guys. This hotel is called Hillcrest and it's run by the most lovely couple. We've just had the most lovely time here. And today we have another very, very jam-packed itinerary. We are starting with an Indigenous heritage walk throughout the land that we're in currently. Obviously, I've spoken about this quite a lot on my channel in the past, but there is so much Indigenous history in Australia. Every single place that you go, it's like got such a unique, diverse history that's so different to like place by place. So I'm really excited for this. I really enjoy learning a little bit more about it. I also think it's very important to kind of like get a bit more of a grasp on the country that you're in. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then we also have a gin distillery tour, a brewery distillery tour, some rock pools. I've just thought I don't have a swimsuit actually. Anyway, I need to go. But yeah, I'm so excited for today. I actually didn't film too much on the Indigenous Heritage Walk because I was really just taking in the information and enjoying the views. But this was such an important part of our week and genuinely something that I think everybody visiting Australia should try and do on their trip, because it really is important to learn more about the land that you're standing on. Australia has such a rich history pre-colonialism that's actually in so many parts of the country a completely lost part of history that just isn't very well known about at all. And this tour company that we did this walk with are doing their best best to educate people and bring that knowledge back to generations today so that those stories can be told going forward. And I just think this tour was so well done. So if you are in the Sapphire Coast at any point, I really recommend checking this company out. Anyway, from here we then headed for lunch at an absolutely gorgeous brewery where we got pizzas and enjoyed some live music. And this was such a chilled out Sunday afternoon location. It was so lovely to just sit here enjoying the music, and the pizzas were genuinely insane. After this we headed to a place called North of Eden Gin Distillery where we did a little gin tasting, which was very much up my street, and their gins were incredible. It's a super small distillery that is family run. And guys, they have Highland cows. Oh, that was really mean, Hamish. That was very mean. They've rescued like 8 Highland cows and have them here on their land, and genuinely this was one of the highlights of my week. I love Highland cows and I've never seen one in real life, so I was very happy about this. We are back. This is where I filmed the intro clip, guys. You may have noticed we're quite a way through the vlog. So welcome to, I think this town is called Maruya or Mossy Point. We're at a place called Mossy Point. We've driven quite a lot further north from where we were yesterday because we are heading back towards Sydney. We are actually flying back to Sydney, but we are staying at an absolutely beautiful hotel called Oaks Ranch, and it basically is a ranch, guys. And I knew it was called Oaks Ranch. I hadn't done any research, and I packed this dress and I feel like I'm really giving Texas ranch outfit. I wish I had some cowboy boots with me, but I do not. Basically, this is the most gorgeous hotel that I have ever stayed in my life. And the second that I walked in, and this is a ridiculous thought, guys, because I'm not getting married and I'm not engaged, but I walked in and I went, I would get married here. Like, my brain immediately went, I want to get married here. I've never thought that anywhere else before, and I've been to some beautiful places, but this feels so exciting because it's very different to anywhere else that we've been. All day today we've been kind of doing really fun activities that are a lot more like authentic and real Australian. Obviously we've done some crazy things in this vlog so far. It's been a whirlwind of a week, but today it was very nice to kind of strip it back. We had, I'm sorry, the sounds of the bush. Yeah, we did a First Nations Indigenous heritage walk, which was really interesting. The guy that ran that, called Nathan, so incredible. I'm actually going to link all of the businesses down below because, like I say, we've been working with a lot of like lesser known or independently run companies that I really think deserve the shout out that we are here to be doing. And then we went from there to the brewery where we had a really casual like pizza lunch with like live music, very fun. And then we did a little gin tasting, and I do love a gin, guys. A G&T is my drink of choice, so that was one of my favourite parts of the week. And now we've just checked in here, and honestly I just feel like I'm having a bit of an out of body experience. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I keep thinking, how silly is it that I post these videos to the internet, and predominantly that is my job. Like, I would say I'm a YouTuber rather than like a TikToker or an Instagrammer. And now because of that, I'm in this remote rural town getting ready with the kangaroos behind me, having these bougie dinner. I just feel like the biggest sense of imposter syndrome. It just doesn't get old, but I also do think a lot of it this week is because this is the kind of stuff I do anyway. Like, I love traveling around this country. I feel so excited to be here. I feel so passionately about Australia, if you hadn't already gathered. But yeah, especially right now, I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I'm actually looking at, because I have never seen this many kangaroos in one place ever. I think it's like genuinely the craziest background. Okay, it's still just focusing on me. Let me actually turn the camera back around and I'll zoom you in a little bit. Like, are you kidding me? Guys, there are just so many of them. They're all feeding. This is one thing about kangaroos and any Australian wildlife and any wildlife in general, really. They all come out at like dawn and dusk. And I do feel very lucky because I've got this kind of like two-sided balcony where I've got this sofa on this side, which looks out onto, I don't know if this is a golf course actually. Yeah, I think it is. And then I've got this balcony on this side, which also looks out over here. And I feel as though I've got really lucky with this view because I think the kangaroos are only really on this side. Can you see that baby kangaroo? It's climbing into its mum's pouch. Oh my goodness me. I've never seen a joey that small. I think it must be joey season because there are a lot of babies around. And these kangaroos obviously feel very comfortable with me just standing here talking. That's actually going to make me cry, guys. That's like Kangaroo from Winnie the Pooh. Stop it, I have to go and get my phone to film that baby. Okay, so hotel room tour time. This is the bed, and then the main feature obviously being the bloody view out of the doors. Room number 11. If you're ever staying here, you wanna be in room 11. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that? This is the bathroom. I absolutely love the interior design of everywhere. I think that's what's giving it the kind of like really, really premium polished finish. And I actually really like my dress in this setting, and I've not felt, I'm gonna be so for real with you guys, I've not felt very confident on this trip at all because I am not a fashion influencer, I'm not a fashion blogger. I like clothes as much as the next girl. It's not really what I create content around anymore. Don't get me wrong, like I do still work with fashion brands occasionally. My content is much more like lifestyle, travel, random accommodation stays and stuff like that. And I've just felt like I just don't have the right clothes for this kind of trip all week. But then I got here and I went, I really do love this dress. I got it from Gander last week, and I actually also think it would have been perfect for the Eras tour. Like it's very fearless, like Juliet style. And I also think it fits the ranch setting. So yeah, I don't know, it's just nice to feel a bit more myself because I've just felt really like, oh God, I don't know what to wear. And I haven't done my hair. I'm gonna go do my hair now. But yeah, I just feel like so at home in this hotel. I don't know if you can tell, I'm very giddy. I feel very much like, oh my God, I just called my mum, and my mum, bless her, it's like 8 AM on a Sunday at home. I was like, answer FaceTime. And she was like, good morning, what's happened? And I was like, nothing, I have to show you the kangaroos. And I'm sure she really cared about that. But yeah, this is the bathroom. This is just all so beautifully furnished, and yeah, I have made a bit of a mess everywhere. I've got some snacks. Oh, do you know what I haven't opened actually? Not opened the fridge. Is there a fridge? Oh, I'm less keen on the fact that there's bug repellent and spider repellent. I'm not gonna look at that. There is a fridge. What have we got in the fridge, guys? Oh yeah, she's well stocked. She is well stocked. Bottle of wine in there. Oh, a little Fever Tree tonic. I actually might drink that because I am obsessed with tonic water, guys. You know me. Don't want the gin in it. I've had gin this afternoon already. I just want the tonic. I'm gonna insert a couple of photos here of our dinner because we ate at the restaurant that's on site here at the Oaks Ranch, which is called Arlo, and oh my goodness, the quality of food was genuinely some of the best I have ever eaten. And I know I've said that a lot on this trip, but this is a standout highlight. Even if you don't stay at this property, I really recommend you go and eat here. Good evening, good evening. I'm vlogging on my phone because my camera is in another bag, but it is the final proper night of the trip. I mean, we do actually have a full day tomorrow. We have just checked into a hotel in Watson's Bay, and I have never been to Watson's Bay before. It's basically a suburb of Sydney that's like beachy, and you have to get the ferry across to it, kind of in a similar way that you get the ferry across to Manly. But we have a cocktail hour at the hotel, and then we're going for dinner at quite a fancy restaurant. The dress code was bougie, and you guys know I've worn this dress before. This is a solid favourite. It's actually from Gander. I actually have it as my profile picture on Instagram, and in the profile picture I'm standing in front of the Sydney Opera House, and I didn't really want to wear it again for that reason, because I was like, oh, this dress I like associate it with this city, like the photos in this dress are from this city, but also I don't have another dress like this with me, and I do really like it. I think it's just like an easy to wear. I've got flats on with it because I thought, wow, that do be the towel. I don't really want to wear heels, and I think you can dress it down because obviously, like, although it is fancy, it's not like really, really fancy. And then just this bag. Yeah, basically, I need to go for drinks. I will just quickly show you the hotel room. Obviously, I've made a massive mess of it, so it's not looking too great, but the hotel itself is called Watson's Bay Hotel, and it is on the actual harbour side, and it is absolutely stunning. I've got this massive balcony. I don't know why. I think they think I'm hosting for like 8 people. And just out here, you have these absolutely gorgeous views. And if you step right down into the corner and kind of look out, that there is the city and the CBD and the harbour bridge. Everything has felt so surreal this week, guys. I do just feel like I'm living somebody else's life. What I do know is I apparently cannot keep a single hotel room tidy for longer than 3 seconds because everything is a mess. Will the camera stay there? Yes. Is it a good angle? But good morning from the Watson's Bay Hotel. It is our last day today. I actually fly back to Melbourne tonight, which I'm so sad about. Like, I feel as though this has been a very long brand trip. We've been away for a week. Obviously, like, the rest of the girls have come in from the UK. It has to be worth doing. I don't envy their journey back to London tonight, though. Like, yeah, it does feel quite nice because their flight's actually like an hour after mine, so I'll literally be back in Melbourne before they even take off. That feels nice, but I don't want to leave. Honestly, like, it feels like summer up here, whereas in Melbourne I feel like we're just having
the longest winter of all time. Like, I've been checking the weather every day. Obviously, Tom is still there working. It's just rain and cold, and I'm not thriving about going back to that because now I've had a taste of it. I think I was okay when I was living in it because it was like, well, it's still warmer than home. But now I'm like, oh, we could just be up the coast. It's a bit warmer up there. But anyway, this morning, as you may have gathered by the attire, we are actually doing yoga, and I'm really excited for this. I haven't done yoga in a while, but I do enjoy it. I'm not particularly good at it, but I'm better at it than I am Pilates. So we've got yoga on the beach, followed by a little bit of time on the beach, some time to explore, which I think the girls want to go and get a yochi, and I would be convinced. And then this afternoon we have a really nice lunch, and then we have a visit to the Gallery of New South Wales, which personally I'm excited about. Like, I am a bit of an art gallery museums kind of gal, and there's not really been anything like that on this itinerary, and I do have to be in like the right frame of mind to go to a gallery, but I've never been to this one, so I think it'll be good. I've walked past it loads of times. And we have a goodbye dinner, and everybody's flights are either like, I think my flight is 9:30 p.m. and the girls' flight is 10:30 p.m. So it's a really full day still. We've still got such a long time to explore. So yeah, I'm gonna bring you along, but we're starting with yoga. Dinner last night was lovely. I didn't really film any of it. I'm not gonna lie, I think obviously a lot of the focus of the content for this trip has been short form content, so yeah, I've been a bit distracted by making sure that I film and like take photos of everything for Instagram stories and for TikTok and for reels and stuff. And for like the first time ever, I've realized I'm just not a quick editor, guys. Like, some of the girls on this trip post and like are editing in CapCut as they're taking it, and I'm like, oh, I just don't work like that, because like I think I'm so used to this format of content. Like, I have grown up learning how to edit long form content, and I edit a lot of my short form content in Final Cut Pro, like how I would edit a YouTube video, because that's just what I know. Like, I don't edit on my phone because I can't do it. Like, I think that it's so fiddly, I think that it's so small. Final Cut, you've got like everything right in front of you. To me, that's a lot easier. It's just what you know, isn't it? So I've learned a lot on this trip. But yeah, that's kind of why I've been filming a lot in portrait, but this was why we went for dinner. It was called Chiswick. Anyway, on that note, I now need to leave because I have to be downstairs in 5 minutes to go to yoga on the beach. So let's go. My goodness me, just like that, we are back in Melbourne. Quite the contrast, guys. It's cold here and it's quite clearly summer in Sydney now, so yeah, it was a bump back to reality. Also, my flight ended up being so delayed. I feel like there were so many gaps in the filming. It was a lot of just like montage clips, because the priority and the focus of the trip, like I mentioned, was like short form content, so this was kind of just like a nice added bonus. However, I got to the airport like an hour before my flight, so I thought I was pushing it a little bit because I had a bag to check in, and I was thinking, I'm only flying domestically. Like, in Australia, it's kind of like getting a train the way you get an aeroplane. Like, it's very chill if you're not leaving the country. Anyway, then I sat there for like 3 hours because my flight was so delayed. I got back to Melbourne super late. It was about 2 in the morning by the time I got to bed. However, can't complain because the other girls have only just recently got back to their houses in the UK, and I've been back for 2 days. Like, I've had 2 sleep, 2 evening meals, and I'm kind of like, my God, I forget sometimes. Like, when I'm doing that journey myself, it doesn't feel too bad because like I think you do just have to kind of lock in. Like, if you're flying from the UK to Australia, you just have to focus on the task at hand and you can't really think about it too much. And like, I just tend to zone it out. Like, I don't really pay attention to like what time it is at home, what time it is in Australia. I'm just on that mission of the aeroplane. But when you're living it and you know somebody that's flying it, I was like, my God, they're still on the plane. That's crazy. But anyway, not the point of the end of this video. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm not gonna waffle too much because I kind of waffled a lot at the beginning about how crazy this all felt. And now I'm back to my normal life. It almost feels like a fever dream. It's like it didn't happen. But thank you so much for watching. If you have watched and got to the end, I cannot recommend visiting Sydney enough. Obviously, you already know I love that city, how much I love this country. But also, if you are visiting Sydney, I do really think it's worth visiting somewhere else within like the region of New South Wales. And I'm not being paid to say this, they didn't ask me to vlog or anything like that, but I do really think that that's how you get a feel for Australia. So obviously in this video you saw us in Merimbula and Pambula, more of like the regional Sapphire Coast area. In that same sort of vicinity, there's like a really gorgeous area called Jarvis Bay, which Tom and I went to the last time we were here. And then we've also previously been to the Blue Mountains and Port Stephens, which are also within New South Wales, but like north of Sydney. And I do just think they're the like
the places that feel like you're in Australia, the places that make you feel like, yeah, this is the Australia I've heard of, I've seen on the telly. Like, you're a bit more in the bush, you're a bit more in the mountains, in the outback. And I think that's what I really enjoyed about this trip. We got to see so many special places, and obviously what a treat it was to be in so many beautiful boutique 5-star Michelin starred restaurants, hotels, places like that. That's not my normal life, guys. I am just your bang average girl from Yorkshire. Like, I don't frequent Michelin starred restaurants. I don't know how you order in a restaurant like that. They had to tell me how to use the knife and fork system in every restaurant we went to. I was like, which fork is first? I don't know stuff like that. Like, that's not how I was brought up. So I feel like I'm learning on the job, but it's not my natural habitat. And I do think there's a lot of fake it till you make it going on, because I don't really know which wine goes with which food and which champagne goes with which food. But it was bloody lovely to experience and pretend for a week, because yeah, I can see how you could get used to that. But I am happy to be back in my flat in my pajama bottoms. You can't see them, but I am wearing them. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Visit New South Wales for inviting me on this trip, and to the PR team in the UK that invited me as well. Like, everybody that was involved in making that decision, I just think it's crazy. And other than that, I shall be back with a brand new video super soon. I'm also going on a road trip with my friend Cleo next week, so there's going to be some road trip content. We're doing a fat drive across Australia, guys, like a hefty drive. So there's going to be a few fun videos coming now, but firstly I think we're going to resort back to a few travel challenges. So do subscribe if you've got all the way to the end and you're new around here and you want to see more. Let me know if you've ever been to any of the locations that were in this vlog, and other than that, I shall see you in my next one. Bye.